blasting through a nearby unfortunate residential building. Amidst the thunderous noise and rolling smoke, the giant crab leaped onto the tank in front, its mandibles exuding an extreme cold that instantly pierced through half of the tank. The soldiers inside froze from the chilling temperature, desperately trying to warm up, but it was too late. Just as they tried to move their arms, they heard a snap, and their arms broke like ice columns. Zhang Chao's expression changed drastically. Wow, could this be the legendary Super King Crab? This is a level 3 mutated creature. Protect the experts. Protect the experts. The sound of waves crashing echoed across the battlefield. Military soldiers and awakened individuals opened fire from all directions, and some awakened ones, terrified by the countless monsters, screamed, "Why aren't we running? What are we waiting for? What are the experts doing?" However, the answer came in the form of an even more terrifying roar. At the end of the wide main road, countless monsters suddenly scattered in panic. The buildings emitted loud sounds of collapse. On a street hundreds of meters away, a creature nearly 50 meters long, resembling a whale, with a blood-red body covered in dense black and white scales, was howling as it swam out. It had no legs. Its body was like a giant whale. It didn't need legs. It was gliding through the air, casting an unparalleled massive shadow over the heads of the monsters. Zhang Rui's expression changed when he saw it from a distance. He recognized this monster because there were related records in the military's database. This was a level 4 mutated creature, the Voyager. Chapter 81. It's him. The Voyager, a level 4 mutated creature, a floating giant monster. Some awakened individuals also recognized it and began to scream frantically. Some even completely broke down, abandoning their positions and fleeing in a panic, scrambling away with all their limbs. These awakened individuals possessed powers stronger than ordinary survivors, but they were still just ordinary people at heart. When the situation spiraled out of control, it was normal for their mental state to explode. Meanwhile, the level 3 mutated creature had just been dealt with. Another main battle tank had timely switched to armor-piercing rounds, shattering the giant king crab's body. It was shot through entirely, flipping over onto the ground, with smoke curling up from the wound. If one got too close, they could even smell a strange aroma mixed with a foul odor, reminiscent of roasted crab. However, the threat posed by the level 4 mutated creature far exceeded that of the giant mutated crab. They were not even in the same league. The giant tree in Haicheng University was only level 5. Here, a level 4 creature had the capability to annihilate everyone on their side. Even a 20mm caliber cannon couldn't pierce the monster's body. Not far away, the military's main battle tank was slowly moving out of formation, its tracks crushing the corpses and ruins beneath, as its heavy guns slowly turned, preparing to load the second armor-piercing round. Zhang Rui immediately sent someone to inquire about the experts in the giant pit. The experts were being closely protected by Li Xinqing and others. At this moment, Li Xinqing proactively came out, whispering, "Professor Chen said it's still not possible. That thing is too difficult to excavate. He wants to take it all away. How important could that thing be?" Li Xinqing glanced back at the scholars busy below, took a deep breath, and said, "Professor Chen said that thing is more important than the lives of all of us here." This was a direct quote. After Li Xinqing finished speaking, he stared intently at Zhang Rui. "Captain Zhang, what should we do?" Here, the highest ranking position is held by Captain Zhang, who will decide what to do next. Upon hearing this, Zhang Rui's body trembled slightly as he murmured, "Is it more important than the lives of everyone here? I understand now." Immediately, this iron-willed man gritted his teeth and shouted furiously, "Everyone, the entire battalion, move forward with me. All survivors, retreat and protect the experts. The rest, charge with me." Zhang Rui's hand turned his head and looked deeply at Li Xinqing, saying, "I will lead my men to buy you time with our lives. Once successful, don't worry about us. Take the experts and the awakened ones and leave immediately. This matter has nothing to do with those awakened. They are merely survivors. Every life counts." As he spoke, he personally climbed onto an open military vehicle, operating the 20mm heavy machine gun mounted on it, roaring as he opened fire and charged out of the battle formation. Just ahead, the main battle tank was firing fiercely, a second armor-piercing round shooting out from its long barrel with a diameter of 130mm, hitting the massive body of the level 3 mutated giant crab, piercing its black and white shell and exploding flesh and blood everywhere, nearly penetrating its body. However, while this was enough to take down a level 3 creature, it seemed to have no devastating effect on this level 4 monster. It merely howled madly, twisting its body and crashing into a nearby building. The structure, heavily battered by artillery, collapsed with a thunderous roar, debris flying in clouds of dust instantly engulfing half the street, the booming noise drowning out countless heavy gunfire. The vehicles and people in the city were also engulfed, visibility dropping sharply. Ahead, another building along the street was smashed through. As the level 4 mutated creature swam through the air like a whale in water, swiftly approaching and directly flipping the main battle tank. Meanwhile, Zhang Rui's Hen had already led his team out. He no longer cared about life or death. With bloodshot eyes and continuous roars, he charged forward with his soldiers. Forming a bloody iron defense line, they pushed to the front of the awakened ones, leading the entire battle formation, with gunfire ringing out. Behind them, many were stunned. Zhang Chao murmured, "Have they gone mad? This is suicide." But Wang Cheng turned to look back. Amidst the swirling dust, in the giant pit, there were still people busy. What were they looking for? What had fallen from the sky? Wang Cheng wanted to take a look, but he knew that in such a chaotic battlefield, he wouldn't have that opportunity. Just a glance could cost countless lives. The creature was sweeping past them, its massive jaws open, revealing rows of sharp teeth like a shark, emitting an invisible, terrifying shockwave from its mouth. It was like a violent wind sweeping across the land. The military formation ahead was instantly scattered by this unparalleled force. Even tanks weighing over 10 tons were violently tossed aside, with smoke and flames rising everywhere, explosions echoing continuously. Taking advantage of the breakthrough by the Voyager, numerous small mutated creatures also broke through the front line, charging into the convoy and causing a bloody chaos. Zhang Chao leaned out of the vehicle, using his abilities to fight, while Wu Haiqing jumped out, his body shimmering with gold as he recklessly resisted. At the edge of the giant pit, Li Xinqing established a desperate defense line to protect the experts behind him. The other survivors and warriors, the Voyager, would become the last straw that broke the battlefield. No one could stop it. Is this what a level 4 mutated creature looks like? Wang Qing turned around, just in time to see Zhang Rui's formation struggling desperately to hold the line. He kept looking back, watching the awakened ones behind him, the people he needed to protect. He moved forward with a resolve to fight to the death, but anxiety filled his heart. What he didn't know was that in the darkness, someone was watching him. Wang Cheng. Outside, smoke and dust rolled, gunfire roared, yet Wang Cheng's battleship remained as steady as a mountain. Inside the soundproof system, it was almost quiet aboard his ship. He knew he had to do something. Otherwise, perhaps today he and Su Xinghai could escape, but Zhang Rui's group would be doomed. Wang Cheng was curious about what the experts were searching for. Yet, compared to life, those things seemed less significant. When others were willing to risk their lives for him, Wang Cheng could no longer sit still. As a human being, one must act and refrain from certain things. Slowly, Wang Cheng extended his hand. He was no longer going to conceal his battleship. A level 4 mutated creature, huh? Wang Cheng took a deep breath. He directly activated the battleship. Amidst the smoke and dust, Su Xinghai and others, who were shielded by Wang Cheng, looked up in surprise. Wu Haiqing, covered in blood after tearing apart a mutated creature, saw the light up ahead. Captain, look, look, Zhao shouted hoarsely. Zhang Rui, with blood oozing from his eardrums, turned back after several calls. Amidst the heavy rumble and rolling smoke, the navigation lights of the battleship lit up. In the center of the convoy, a black lightning bolt, like a sharp arrow at dawn, rose majestically. In the distance, Qin Hai's mouth dropped open, unable to believe the scene before him. Behind the convoy, Su Ling also stared in disbelief. She knew Wang Cheng's vehicle was extraordinary, but she always thought his real strength lay in being a level 2 awakened one. Until this moment. No wonder he had such a thing. Did he really need to rely on the abilities and identity of an awakened one? Before their eyes, Wang Cheng's vehicle transformed into battleship form, rising slowly in the center of the formation amidst the astonished crowd. The anti-gravity engine activated. The missile launch bay was ready. The intelligent flight assistance system was online. The battleship was activated. The cabin darkened before illuminating. Wang Cheng gazed down from within the ship, using the onboard speaker to say, "Zhang Rui, my people are entrusted to you. This Voyager is mine. No one will die today, I promise you." Under the dim sky, the Voyager let out a mournful howl as the warships from the royal city accelerated in stages, like a streak of black lightning, swiftly breaking through. A missile was launched, trailing a long tail of flames, crashing down with a thunderous explosion, lighting up the sky. Amidst the piercing howls, the dark warship charged towards the massive behemoth. On the ground, Zhang Rui's Hen was already too shocked to speak, watching the streak of lightning soar, repeatedly murmuring, "It's him. It's really him." Chapter 82. Air Battle over the Sea City. The pitch-black warship zoomed past at high speed. The enormous Level 4 behemoth Voyager was hit directly by a missile launched from the royal city, resulting in a massive explosion. Its gigantic body, floating in mid-air, suddenly plummeted, crushing one abandoned vehicle after another on the ground. Immediately after, it let out an enraged roar, opening its enormous mouth and lunging after the warship from the royal city. With an earth-shattering crash, another building was violently breached. The colossal creature prowled between the streets and buildings, closely pursuing the royal city's warship, leaving a trail of debris and smoke, disappearing from sight. On the ground, in a truck, Su Xinghai and Zhang Chao exchanged glances, both seeing the astonishment in each other's eyes.